All right, quick reminder, everyone, this talk is intended for educational purposes only. Did want to quickly jump into SPY here per usual. So just to recap what has happened over the last couple of weeks here. The blue highlighter mark is the last session. So what we saw was just continued drift higher, which was the expectation. Excuse me, and then almost a textbook pullback into the 50 MA. It was a lot cleaner on the cues. I'll let Mario handle all the cues, but what we saw there was just textbook pullback into the 50. Now I was talking with Mario prior to getting started here, and it's almost like this rally was like quote unquote too easy in terms of how they just pushed it directly into new highs.
Yes.
And so, you know, we've got kind of that doji there on the daily today, no volume. We're still in the summer trading. I remain bullish, but more tactical at this point. I'm expecting some type of pullback. You know, we could see a retest into the 21 MA, which would be good. 450 is probably going to be a big psychological level to keep an eye on. As far as breadth, I do like to sometimes get a look at the ADD, which is the advanced decliner line. Basically, this just shows the number of stocks that are advancing versus declining, and it's a good breadth metric to keep an eye on. Generally speaking, you want to see ADD making new highs with the market making new highs. Now, what we see is ADD is not making new highs. It's actually in a small downtrend here. Now that can kind of start to give some red flags, right? Just a reason to be cautious, not necessarily a reason to be bearish or anything like that, but just as you know, kind of a warning, if you will.
Before you go, do you have the put call ratio? Because I haven't checked it.
Yeah, I do. So we've kind of on that one, we've pretty much washed out, right? And so we were pretty high.
We were extreme bearishness when we hit the 50, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so that's a
contrary indicator, right? Yes.
Correct. Yeah. Contrarian indicator. And so now we're on the flip side of that. So just some things to keep in mind here. Back on the ADD, what I did want to mention here is one aspect to consider with all breadth metrics and all of these kind of warnings that you see are kind of headline pieces or news bites that you may see on CNBC is these metrics can remain depressed for months, if not years at a time, and the market can continue to march higher. And so what we see here on this graphic is the green box is highlighting areas where the advanced decline line was in a massive downtrend while the market just continued to push higher. And these are long periods, 2.5 years, a year and a half, 6 months, even recently. And so, you know, I like to bring these things to everyone's attention, but at the end of the day, what we do is focus on price, right? So just something to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
With that being said, I'll let Mario go ahead and take it away here. And you should be able to take over now, Mario.
Okay, so welcome everybody. Make sure that you're awake, because I know I got the energy. I got the energy from my nap. So let me see, because I'm gonna put my where's my thing right here. Always trying to figure out how to work this thing. Okay, there we go. Here we go. So a little bit of a talk, you know, guys, I make such strong emphasis on planning ahead, on making sure we know where we are at as far as the structure for the market, right? How important it is, right? So to Kyle's point, what we were talking before this meeting, just preparing the material, and I was like, okay, this is exactly the day when it is so hard for people to come to terms that they need to probably be a buyer, right? Reason being, because, well, we have a red day the prior day, right? So, but what you have to take into account is also where you at, right? Location. So we come back and it's almost a 50-day MA. We also have the Bollinger Bands. You know, guys, I look at that, especially once we start getting into 2.53 standard deviations, right? Because that's usually the point where we hit it and then we bounce. So basically, we haven't done it in a while. What you see is a compression of the range, right? We've been trading sideways, so the compression also in the Bollinger Band. So once we hit it, we have the entry. We call it the red dot reversal. You know, guys, that's not us. That's something that we learned from T3 a long time ago. So basically, you go over the prior day high, prior day low, and then it's just a go, right? It was too easy. Exactly what Kyle says. I have to agree with that. But we were also mentioning something that is really interesting right here. Look at the Qs. We're still in a squeeze. So technically, we haven't had a strong directional move that actually take us out of this range. I know it looks like we're so stained like 4 days up, but when we look at the tools that we use, like for instance, the squeeze, you can see that we're still in a 7-day squeeze, meaning all of these moves that look so clean and so strong haven't been able just to trigger this long. What we need for that is we need an expansion in volatility. What we see here, and this was the other point that I was trying to make with, you know, when we were preparing the material, basically is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 days right into the Bollinger Band. However, this one, as you can see, the envelope it was just becoming too tight because of the sideways move that we had. So we were basically in the chop for a couple weeks. This is the last hangout, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's 727. So the last hangout was 803 or the 10. My God. So it was even horrible. It was longer, right? So we were here. So we had no movement from one hangout to the next one. And then finally, it went down. For those of you that follow theory from Wyckoff, you know that this is called a spring, or this is called, I used to call it a bear trap. So this is exactly what we have here. You take the lows of the long base and immediately reverse. So what you expect to see is a test of the prior high. We hit it yesterday and we just blast off. So the odds, and this is probably the point where I'm trying to buy today, like that I'm trying to drive today for you guys, right? Like if you come on Thursday and you're asking how aggressive should I be on my longs, that's the day where you should be like 8 out of 10 in aggressiveness from the longs. Why? Because your stop is tight. All you need to do is like buy ASAP as soon as you see strength coming into a market, and you put a low under low the day, and that's your trade. You know, best case scenario, you have 4 days of rally. Worst case scenario is going to reverse and you get a small stop. Now, compare that to today. How aggressive should you be today? And basically what we did today, we just went with the gaps, right? Because I didn't want to be too aggressive as far as the marketplace because of the location. Like it's a good measure. Like we see it, and we saw it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days up and then sideways. So here's the call. 1, 2, 3, 4 days up. Unless we have a gap up tomorrow or something like that, I think we're just gonna continue sideways, right? So the call for the Qs from here is we got that 375, and over that 375, we're gonna play momentum if it comes, right? Otherwise, I'm going to be looking for a test of the 370 and the 368, right? And the test of the 370 and 368, what he's going to bring us, is going to bring us a pullback, most likely into this area, which is going to be the 20-day moving average, right? Once we test, if this is a true breakout, we should come test and then bounce, right? Reason why I'm not trusting this breakout so much, and I'm going to repeat that, is because we're still in a squeeze. So we haven't actually triggered. Like the momentum is not there. I know the chart looks really good, but I use the indicators, you know, some of my crutches. So that one's right there. So if we go look at the weekly, this is what we were talking, right? We were talking that we wanted a 1, 2, 3 on the weekly, never triggered. So 2 day, 3, 4 weeks. Finally, we have the shakeout, and finally we have the break. So the weekly, what is getting us probably to 380. So that could be like the target one could be in the 380s, right? So not that big. We're talking about 6 points on a 300 something. That's like a 1.5%, 2%, but I'm just actually waiting for a pullback, right? Having said that, let's look at the main stocks that we like to follow, right? So you guys know that whenever I see the market at a key level and then Apple is at a key level, that's my go-to. And the reason being is because I was explaining to someone today and I said like, well, the reason why I can trade like 2, 3 names is because I can be doing a very hard to trade gap, but then Apple is so easy to trade. If it's a trend day in the market, very likely you're going to have a lot of volume. You're going to have a lot of depth into the options. You can buy as many contracts as you want. If you're wrong, you can probably put a very tight stop on that one and get out really fast. And if the market runs, all you have to do is just move your stop up. Meanwhile, if you're doing a gap and you get it wrong, you're going to get it wrong so bad. Like it's going to put you, like I think Palo Alto Networks, if you entered bad today, you'll be down like 30, 40% in the first 15 minutes of the day. So that's the reason why when you see us calling like the market, we like the market is a key point, the market is at a key level, then I'll probably put some market calls. Not that I trade that much of the market, but when the market is at a key level, I want to be in the market. So what is actually Apple telling us? You know, so Apple did exactly the same, did a 1, 2, 3, 4, but it actually was a little bit worse on the market. We didn't even break the new all-time highs. So for Apple, we have a good level right here. We see it all, right? That's the 146, 145. So I want to call it that is in a range between 145 and 152. I'm going to range trade Apple. So for those of you that are familiar too with that, if we start seeing a pullback in the market, what I want to see is Apple holding the 146, 145. I'm not going to kill it. I'm not going to say it's going to be dead or short if it's under 145. So that's probably one trade that we can take. So I call it 146, but 145 could be a level that we can watch. So keep an eye on Apple. Other thing to keep in mind right here, guys, 18 days inside a squeeze. If you don't see it, I'm going to show it for you. Went up from 124, we call it 125, all the way to 150. And now we haven't done pretty much anything. I know we move, but that's not what I mean a move, right? So what we should be waiting is like being aware that we have a target like for 180 on this one. So the longer the base, the higher in the space, that's what they say. So keep an eye on that one. If you don't see it, come back right here. This is a little bit of a technical, technical thing that I'm doing right here, but I think it's important, right? Because you see the charts are so clean at times, right? So what we have is a big strong move, and all we're doing is correcting through time. That's what it is. Don't get desperate, don't get too crazy on that one. Just make sure that you know exactly where we are. So Apple is inside a range, 145, 152. We look at that. If the market starts pulling in, you know that Apple could be a market play. If for some reason Apple decide to launch iPhone 13 tomorrow, then it's probably go over 151. You know exactly what to do. You would trade a breakout play. No big deal right over there. So now let's speed it up. So Amazon, what's going on with Amazon? Amazon, I see a range between 3,200 and 3,390, right? So 3,200 is right here. We see it all. Here's the volume. Here's pretty much the reversal, right? It didn't go exactly with the market because the market started running like 4 days ago, and this one's just like on a second day. So this, if you like trading Amazon, this could be one that probably still have some juice into the 3,350, right? But the main range that I like to call is the 3,200, 434, right here. 34, you see my alert right there. And this is where we actually want to start getting really aggressive with Amazon. This is post the earnings. So basically this is their earnings gap, if you want to call it like that. Once we go over the 50 MA, probably the 20 is going to be crossing too, and we could have a good trade into 3,600. Okay, so Amazon again, 32 for 33.90, and then over 34 for 36. Okay, let's go to Facebook, and we speed up about this one. Facebook is clearly in a sideways move. That's a range. The other thing I like to bring to your attention is the 269. So there was a lot of accumulation in the oh my God, that's 260. And I'm talking about 360. Sorry for that, guys. You should have bought a 260. So now what do we do for here? So what we have, it's we have the 4 days up, and we try to break the 368. I think we have a call for this one for 363 to get long. But what I'm looking for is I'm going to go into the higher time frames and see if there's something setting up. So here we probably have a weekly entry. We can do 368 for 378 if you want to do that scalp, right? So 368 for 378, that could be good. And then once we go over the highs, you know exactly what to do, right? That's the momentum, and we just go with the Momo. The monthly still looks good. I don't know if this one is like, yeah, that's way too old. Let me remove that drawing, and we have the weekly. So the weekly, I'll say we'll trade this base. This can be traded on a good day or any news or catalyst from Facebook. Again, what's the problem with the Facebook? That we have 4 days up, so I'm not really that aggressive buying. Like today was not an A play for me, absolutely not. Not without the market, not without the volume. We don't have volume. We're in a squeeze for 2 days. So this is like at best like a B trade or whatever. So look for that one over 368 for a Momo trade, right? 368, 378. That could be good. The one that I had today on watch was Microsoft. The reason was because I thought it was going to be a 1, 2, 3. So if the market were to run, this would have been the trade that I wanted to do. Still remains as a watch over the 306 that everybody can see at this point. I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly what is it I do. So we have the massive confirmation right here on volume. So this is a true, right? This is a true breakout, right? Because compare this one to the market. This one did it in 2 days, and now we use sideways, right? But fired long, so we don't have a squeeze right here. Increase volume, so everything's a go as far as a Microsoft goes as a momentum play. So I want to keep this one on side. You can also do it or call it a weekly, right? So we know it's a weekly 1, 2, 3 information. That could trigger this week, next week, or we just do a daily, simple daily 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever breakout play right here over 306. That could be the play. Keep an eye if you want for the 296, just in case we go down there. So this is where I put my alert. So 296, I want to keep an eye on that one. I want to see how we retest, if we do, how we retest the prior break, right? This is the prior highs. So those are the ways that I will play Microsoft if it comes to that. The Netflix is another one that we traded, and I think the team did a great job on working this one out, because we said, like, I don't know how many times, hundreds of times, that we were into this sideways consolidation, that it has done nothing. We have the point of control that we love to trade off. We have the 50 crossing the 200 finally, right? And this is the day that actually triggers everything, right? That was the day that we had the try to break out, and we didn't, and then the next day gave us the big move. So what do we do from here, right? So from here, what I want to defer to is to the weekly chart, right? We all see it here. It's 357. You can see that's where I have my alert. I don't have any alerts before because I want the real break now. I'm looking for that momentum trade. When you come back to the weekly chart, you see that we're still there. So this hasn't done anything, guys. We have a target of, I think it's 600 for this one. So once we start seeing 560, 565, that's when we start calling 600, right? So 560, 565, 600. Now, is this a good trade? Of course, it's a great trade, right? Because we have what I like to call a tradable range. You heard the term. I've used it like so many times in here that you should be familiar with that too. So we have the squeeze trigger on a big volume. That's what we have lagged in the Qs. That's why the Qs still, even with the rally, they're still inside the squeeze. So for this one, we have the big one. So that means big volume, big move out of the squeeze. Now we have is the top of the range. This could be called scalp if you want, from bottom to the top of range. Now, what I'm looking for again is a breakout out of the range. If we start pulling in, I trade it as a range. So I'll be looking probably at the 530, 535 as possible support. How do I determine that? Just do a Fibonacci from here and here and start measuring when we pull back 30 or 50% and keep us all posted, right? But basically the main idea that I like for this one is if we just have like an awesome news or whatever, or tomorrow it decides to go, I start hearing the alerts of 557. I put you guys 560, watch the 560, 570, and we finally break the 600 mark on this one. So then we go to Google and let's see what Google's doing. So Google, pretty strong trend, pretty strong stock. It wasn't doing anything, pretty much anything. So day of the pullback, exactly like the market, pulled to the 20 MA. So it was very strong compared to the market. We have massive volume in here that support us. So that's why it didn't go that far as to go and test the 50. When you guys see the volume right here, there's two things that is right there, right? There's buyers and sellers. So apparently if they're sellers, they couldn't bring it down. So I'm assuming that the buyers are in control. Once I start seeing the green, all you need to do is jump into this train and hopefully take it to new highs. For this one, what I like to see is I want to see a test of 27.75 that holds, right? Basically, pretty much the same idea. Consider these 1, 2, 3, 4 days as your initial move that you can do a fib over there, right? For those of you that like the fibs, look at that right there. So what I'm looking is probably for a pullback into the 50% that put us into the 27.80 or the 27.86, which is the 38%. I'm not going to put it right there because, you know, it doesn't look good on my charts, and I like my charts clean, but that's exactly what my eyes are going to be aiming for, right? Once I see those 4 directional moves, I want to see where we pull back. As long as we pull back and we stay over the 8, over the 20, and especially over this volume, I'm going to be willing to probably call this one, even if I'm not trading it. But I think watch the 27.55 on Google for a pullback, right? That could be a great entry. If not, just play the momentum, wait whenever you break 28.41 and take it long. With that, we end up with the fangs. So as is customary right here, I'm going to do the semis. AMD, I think this one was one of the best trades in September. So it gave us a massive move. Now we're into the 50 MA. It tested the first time, try to go. We know this happens, right? Not all the time they go is in a V straight line. So this was the call on Friday. On Thursday with the market again, same thing. You could have traded this range. Is a tradable range. We're talking about 103 to 110. So that's 7 points. That's almost 5% move. What do we go from here? What I want to see from here is I want to see the weekly structure. And this is what I have on the weekly structure, right? So let me take this off because it's not clear. I don't like that. So I'm working with the same here, the 50. That's probably let's not be, there you go. So we are the 50, almost 61%. I'm not expecting a new high just based on that. But once I start seeing the 110, I can probably start seeing momentum coming in. So over 110, 112, we go for 120, okay? Over 110, 112, we can see 120. I'm not gonna call it a range because it's not a range as far as the structure that I'm seeing, right? It's just what I like to call a pullback long or a buy setup. Went a little bit too much, but I know it was the market because it's exactly what the market was doing. So I don't know if once the market stabilizes and start going sideways, probably AMD is gonna lead or something. I thought today was gonna be the day anyways. So that's AMD. So we have the call for AMD. And now let's look at the other favorite, which is NVIDIA, right? So NVIDIA did the market again. And you're gonna get bored of me talking about the market today. So basically we have the 4th day into the 50 MA, into the market, tested, reversal day. We entered that day, we take that trade. That was a 205. That was a range trade. When you take it from 190 to 205, that's a range trade. Simple, right? When we go over the 207, now what we're looking is a breakout trade, right? So we went from range trade in this one into a breakout mode, right? So if you were here either Friday, we were looking for this middle of the range trade into resistance. The call for yesterday, I think it was, I think you did it on topics, right, Kyle? Because I was a little late, so I wasn't sure what was posted. But
NVIDIA,
yeah, right. It's simple, right? Breakout play over the prior high. If we see strength, go long, right? Beautiful trade, 210 to 220. That's what we want. Where are we standing here? Since we just broke, right? We just broke, so we have day one. So let's see. Today looked great for me. If you guys are or like the trades that we call the 1, 2, 3s, this is like setting up perfectly. So all we need to see is tomorrow the 220. Here's a difference on how you can trade, and I'm gonna give you into a little secret because you've been with us for so long. So there's a little secret, right? Like the daily is only gonna show you 220, right? And then you say like, wow, Mario, but sometimes you just posted at 222. You want us to be late. And there's a reason behind it, right? Because I'll look also at the pre-market, right? So sometimes I want to, even though the daily is telling me to go long at 220, sometimes I go long at 220, but I have to keep in mind that there's another reference level for people at 222. So it's likely that some people could be buying at 220, and then when they see 221.90, they're going to offer out. So that's going to be some supply of the stock, especially of the options that you're going to see be forcing to overcome if you're thinking that this one's going to break out, right? So that's a filter. Make sure you use both of them, try them, see what works best for you. But the call is over 220. We should be looking at this thing to blast off. So NVIDIA is at 1, 2, 3 on a daily, over 220. I'm sorry, over 220 for. I don't think we have the targets. Remember, we have like $1,000 target, but that was before the split. So my numbers that I have are all messed up. So we could be seeing, I can do the reversal right here. 3 standard deviations. I think 225, and then intraday will update you into the real target, what the real target could be, because I don't see it, guys. We're all-time highs, so it's pretty difficult. So I'll play the momentum. 222, 225 could be like a good reference point, and then from there we see what we do. MU was a trade that we made the last hangout, and that was a short, and I think it worked pretty good for whoever took it. 810, so that was the last day, and then we hit all the way to 69. Pretty decent trade, almost 10%. Now, where do we go from here? What I'm looking for, and this is the reason why I have it, because today we try to start filling that gap. I don't trade gap fills per se as a strategy, but what I trade is ranges, and what I trade is this type of things that I'm going to show you right here. So look at the monthly, right? That I trade. So what I know is we have a massive move up, and we're pulling back into the 50-day moving average right here at 69, right? So we're pretty close right here. So whenever I start seeing like some green, could be something, could be a trade right there. How do we enter? This is the second week that we're holding. 74 could be a good reference level to start initiating some longs into MU, but it won't be too crazy if we just assume that once we start getting over today's high, which is 72.77, we can probably see at least 76. So this is a tradable reversal. I want to call it as a reversal over 73. Let's put it as a reversal over 73 for 76, 77, which is simple, guys. This is what the 50 MA. If we go over there, then I'll be looking at the monthly chart or the weekly chart to see if I'm getting another setup that I can work with. Because this one, what it's showing me is there's a lot of support. There's a lot of volume at 81. So we could basically test the 79. So that would be target 2. Okay. Put a side note, check the monthly or check the weekly, check the weekly and the month. Okay. Because this is not just a reversal. We're going to be looking at a lot of reversals because you guys know that finally the Chinese stocks apparently started to get a bid. We're doing, I'm going to move into the payments. So Square, this was a decent trade. I called this one a tradable range. I think it was too. And we were looking at 270 at the time because we were into this structure, right? This structure right here. So the 270 to 290 that hit in one day. Then we retest, right? So what we have in here is we have a wider range, right? Because now we're talking about 250 to 290, right? How do we trade it? Honestly, I'll do some momentum if this is something that has a catalyst or some news, but I'd rather be just looking at the, at this point in time, I'm just looking at a range like 257 for 289 is huge. Needs a catalyst. If we have a catalyst that I thought probably the news about PayPal, like allowing, but that was like apparently it was just company specific, so it didn't affect this much into the other stock. Like I consider to be in the same space, even though I'm not sure if they are, but Square. So for Square, if that's something I'm just bringing to everybody's attention because I know a lot of people like to follow Square, but this is 257, 289. You have your chance to load it at 254. For now, is in the middle of the range. Good luck with that. If we see momentum going over 280, probably going to hit 289. We can take that one as a momentum trade any day. And then after 289, then we go into a different mode, right? That's supposed to be the breakout, and then we trade it as a breakout play. But I'm not going to call it right now because I don't think it's going to go. PayPal. So with PayPal, we have the news yesterday, right? So where are we with PayPal? Let me double check right here. Look at the whole volume we have in here. So 273 is the point of control for the whole year, basically, and that's what this one's showing us, right? So we're not far from there, right? And we have a 50 MA right here, right? The problem is that the 20 is below. So all it takes is for this one to get some love from the buyers, and this is just gonna blast off, right? So PayPal, I think, is the one that we should be looking, and the 282, and I don't have an alert right there, so I should have an alert at 282. This is a daily, I don't want to say it's a daily breakout play, but I want to call it more of a range play between 282 and 297, 300. Here's the thing. Yeah, 292 is going to be trouble right there. 292 and 300. So PayPal over 282 for 292 and 300. If we get lucky, right? If we get lucky, we go 300. The good thing, again, is we have a lot of volume right here behind us, right? So technically, we're not too far from the entry. 272, 274. Let me look at the weekly. This is the weekly target. The trigger will be 282.50. So that's pretty much what we call it. 282, 282.50. Give it some space right there. Target 1, 291. Target 2, 300. And then we take it from there. Okay. So that's the PayPal. I don't know if eBay goes here, but I think they have something to do with some of them. I don't know who sold it. I think it was PayPal. I don't know. I don't even remember. Or was it the other way around? I don't know. Anyways, so for eBay, and the reason why it popped into my scans is because we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 massive move. In here, we have the pullback, and I think this is a healthy pullback. So if we go here and do our FIPS, so we see that the pullback is actually to 50, more like a 40%, more like a 38%, right? More like a 38% move, right? So what I'm looking is like basically this one starting getting hot again over 74. Now, when we look to the left of the chart, what we're going to be seeing is a lot of volume right here. So I like it when I have volume supporting me, and actually the chart confirming the volume right? Or the volume confirming the chart. Remember, guys, we don't trade price. We trade price and volume. So the price can be doing whatever you want, but if you don't have volume, it's like it's just a print right there, right? So I want it because I have the volume right here, big volume, big move up. We holding right here. So I think this is interesting, guys. 74, 12, 74, 25, 75, 4, 76, 50, and then we see where it goes, right? I haven't traded eBay in a while, so I don't know how it does, but at least the chart looks really good. It's over 74, 25 for 76, 55, and then we go and hit those here, probably the 79.30, the 79 area. Okay, which is like 3 standard deviations. So I'm expecting that one to enter into an expansion phase, price discovery phase. So we got eBay, and I think the payments are done, Kyle.
You want to jump into the Chinese?
Yeah, we could do Chinese, and then yeah. I have a lot of new names that I want to share with you guys, but yeah, let's do the Chinese. So let's do China. So I guess Baba, which is the one that I'm liking the least, you know, because it's been like, this is amazing, guys, right? We were trying to call this one, and I think we said like at that point that's the reversal in just 1-2 days, and then when we didn't break this one, I say that's done. The reversal is done, no reversal, and they just drop it. But the way it trades, I don't like it. It's just nothing. Now, where are we? We're here, 152. So we talk about this, and I need to clear this chart. My God, this is horrible. So this is where we are. Massive accumulation for the last, what is it, like 5 years? So this is where everybody's sitting pretty much, 180, right? So once we start getting 180, because of the volume, I'll be probably willing to start taking some BABA as a reversal, right? Can you trade before? Absolutely. You can do 178, 172, but the trade that I really want is I really want to see how the 180 is going to hold. Or let me be more precise. Yeah, 180, 182. This is what I'm getting from the monthly, right? I get it. You always want to be part of the tail, but this one is a tricky one. So for sure, over 180, I want to trade for 200. That'll be target one, which is pretty simple. It's a 50-day MA, and that's where we failed the last time. 202, I think it was the day that we traded that thing, and we said, yeah, it's not going. Forget it. Stop looking at that one. Let me look at the weekly. Let's see if the weekly is showing us something better. So sort of a reversal. Week's not there yet. So let's see the monthly, which is the one that I have on my left. But yeah, this is just hard, and we know it's regulatory and all the other things that we hear all day long on TV. So it's not a climatic. Climatic would have been here, but the other thing that I want for the climatic, it has to be the biggest move, and that was not the biggest move. So it was just a normal day. So for me, it's just a normal reversal, not a climatic. Now that's Baba. I think the
Hey,
one
Mario, do you wanna
yeah.
quickly touch on because last time we were looking at these, you were talking about capitulation. Any updated thoughts on that?
Any updated thoughts? I'm sorry, I don't get the answer. I mean, I don't get the
So
question.
was what we saw in the last few days the capitulation move?
No, the
Or
thing.
are you saying no?
No, the thing is like, and the thing is that, wow, I didn't have that prepared, because I do have when I used to do capitulations back in the stock trading days, what you want to see basically is when was Spain? You guys remember when we did the sort of like this? Remember, this is when that hedge fund that was that had so many
Right, yeah.
calls in, what was it? Remember the UK hedge fund, right? That they have to liquidate, right? So
Right.
so we have a move literally from 237 that just start dropping, right? And what we learned after the fact is that these guys were having massive problems. That was a hedge fund that they liquidated, right? So they were actually selling my God, I cannot remember exactly what the trade was that they forced them to liquidate. I know they were having calls in more than the, okay, one of those things that they used to do. So basically the banks were liquidating their options, right? So you see it as the stock dropping for many, many days, right? But if you don't see it panic, because it's actually institutions selling, right? And
Right,
then
they're hiding it.
right, then what's there's 1 day or 2 days when they just, this is the capitulation. When you come like 1, 2 days, and that day is a red day, and is like the biggest volume you've seen since the whole month, basically.
Right, okay.
So that's when you say like, okay, this didn't continue going lower. Why? We're in a downtrend. We have the biggest move down on a red candle. We should see more momentum to the downside, right? If we see a red candle with big volume, what do we want? We want prior day low, or prior 5-minute low, or prior half an hour low, and you just short it. When you start seeing the next day and you're like, okay, this thing's not going down, that's when we try the capitulation, right? So the problem here, probably this was yesterday, but I wasn't trading, because what we have is we have the biggest volume, not by far. That's the problem. Not by far, because now, I've been calling the biggest volume for the whole month, and this is the biggest volume.
Over there,
but
right?
yeah, but it wasn't that much. So that was not it. Like yesterday was huge, like 98. Could that be? Well, it's proven to be, but that's after the fact.
Right. Gotcha.
Because the trade, basically you would have needed to be long 153 and hold overnight, because that's target, right? Target 1 usually on a capitulation trade is the 20 MA. So you see here, you buy 152, you sell it at 189. That's your target 1. You buy it right here, okay. You sell it at the target, which is a 290 something. Right here, if you didn't buy yesterday, you're already at target. So
you're
now,
late, yeah.
Right. So it's not perfect, to be honest. So what I need is the biggest volume and the biggest move.
It's like isolated, right? Like a single day, not like multiple. Okay, gotcha.
No, you want to let it drip, and then one day out of the blue, it's like woof, huge volume, and then usually they reverse it. They revert it on the same day. That's what happened.
Okay, I think
so. That's what I'm saying.
Baidu.
Right. So this one I like better. Right. This is the pin duo, because we have the earnings, we have the catalyst. When we're looking here, what we have is a proper base, sort of I can call this one not a significant new low. So I have a double bottom. I have volume right here with me, and we just gap right there, 91. And I don't know why I didn't trade this one, right? But this is it, 91 to 99, target 1, plain and simple. Now, where do we go from here? This one is a second day play. Absolutely, we all know how to play it. 100, and seriously, guys, this can be 100, 120, right? So this is a one. It's a second day play over 101 for 120. Let me double check on Baidu. Let's see if Baidu did sort of a capitulation move, right? I don't think so, right? Again, I don't see the exhaustion. Like basically when we talk about capitulation, is this right here. Here it is. This is the one that I was doing, not Baba, was Baidu. Baidu was the one that they capitulated. Right. Now I remember, right? So we're here, right? And they started like 1, 2, 3 days liquidation. The last day, look how they liquidated this at 220. So we know they're selling because there's a big bar, but the volume is not there. So what it's telling us is basically there's liquidation from institution. Look at the volume. So probably the news or after the fact, we would be like, wow, Baidu went down today, but it wasn't doing great volume. And then the next day is like, wow, it's getting interesting. Look, the volume is increasing, and it went down from 260 to 200. That's 60 points. Yeah, that's huge. 30% on literally no volume. So basically they're selling this one to everybody. And then the last day, they just throw the towel. They just like, That's it. This is it. Boom. They gap it down because remember, this is a green bar. So it means it opens here at the 190. Drop it all the way to 170, which is 200 MA, blast it off. That's capitulation. This is exactly the picture of capitulation, right? Yeah, I totally forgot it was Baidu. I know it was one of the Chinese names, but it was not Baba. It was Baidu. It was Baidu. This is the capitulation show. So there's no doubt. Like if we talk about it here, we call my 2-year-old niece and we ask her, what's the biggest volume? No, no question about it. It's right there, right? And one of the biggest,
okay.
and one of the biggest bars too, by the way, right? Ending the move. We capitulated. We end the move. Now, where's target one? The 20 MA, we didn't even get there, right? Because there was a lot of buying in the same day. When we don't have that much buying, what we usually see is the red bar, and then the next day is a gap up or the move that takes us all the way to the 200. So yeah, Baidu. So Baidu, I don't like it as much. It's all reversal. I just call this one a plain old reversal. But Pinduo, I like Pinduo, absolutely. So for there, I think we have the JD2, JD.com, and this was on news. So we have the news. So this is totally different animal. So I'll be looking at the monthly chart over the 80. That's the one that we can take. Can we trade it from here? I think this is a more of a second day play with a $76 entry as a momentum trade into 81. So let's write that down. Second over 76, what did I say? 76 and a quarter, 25, 481, target one, right? Remember a point right here that I'm making. If we start taking 81, we're into the monthly buy. So once we get in over 81, we may get really lucky. We may get real lucky and we hit 85 and 90, okay? So second trade on JD over 81 and a quarter for 85 and 90, okay? So JD looks great. So we have any other Chinese that you want me to consider? Because we did PDD.
I think we got the main ones, right?
Baidu, yeah. There's a lot more, but like this is the best charts that I have. And as far as the, you know, with the news and everything, PDD and JD, I think those are cool. So past that, how are we on time? 6:30. Oh my God. We can do usually we do the electric cars, electric vehicles. There's one that is Chinese, so that's what I want to bring it out first. Li Auto. What do I like about this? I like this formation. If we start getting over $36. So here's the thing, right? We coming into earnings, and let me see if it's not too close. 8:30. We got 6 days. I'll be taking a look at that one. You guys know what I call that one, right? So Li is a run into earnings. Watch. That means I don't want to own it or come earnings, but if we for some reason have more some volume or some move into Chinese, and this one for some reason starts running, this could be one, right? So 30.70 for, you can see it right here, for a 10% move. If we're lucky, 10-20% move. So this is what I say, 30.70 for 10 and 20%. These are unique situations, guys. Okay, so it's pretty much a monthly, or this is sort of a tradable range too, right? Because I have the 20, I have the 50. We just crossed the 50 today on a weekly chart, on a daily chart, I'm sorry. So we just opened right here at the 50. So we got some moving averages working for us here. Here's the volume. I don't know if you see it, but this blue line right here, that's the volume. So that's exactly where we stopped today. So 30s, 80, 31, we can probably see some move into Li. So Li could be my go-to electric vehicle. And then we have the Tesla, right? And I'm bringing Tesla to our attention because we've been working so long on this monthly chart. So I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to explain it very good. What is it I want to do? right? The monthly point of control, I got it at 711. Should have moved a little bit. So I don't want to mess with that, but you know, it's like getting into too much detail that we don't really need it. Because I think once, hold on a second, because I just messed it up now. That's not what I want to do. So I have a 711. What I'm working with in Tesla is I'm working on this move, big move of the Fibonacci levels. So we have the 38. So we're starting to get into this buy setup type of move, right? Now the timing is important on this one because we know it can stay and basically do things like this, right? Like this is not a short, right? So basically what we have is this base. I can work with that base. The high of that base is 730.98, right? So if I'm playing momentum for this one, and I think we call it today at 715, but the real, because pre-market, and this is when we talk about like what we talk, I think pre-market we did 717 or a little higher than 715. Let me double check. No, we went too high. So 715, I was just buying some extra wiggle room for me to enter. I wanted to make sure that we were in a trending day today. So what I'm willing to do, and that's me personally, I'm willing to take it probably 717, 720 into 730, right? Because a real play on Tesla will only start once we go over 730, 7.5, and we go to 800, right? Once we go to 800, we're going to be sitting in here to the 780. You see, 780, 780, 800. I need to have some exposure just in case. That's all. So that's a play for Tesla. The daily breakout play is over 730, then over 730. But since we're dealing with that, and the reason why I like it is because we have this move of the 700, 773, 700. We have the one in here. I don't know if that's clear. I hope it is, but I can do a 60 or a 4 hour. This is a 4-hour chart, guys. When I don't see it, or when I don't see it that clearly on a daily chart, I go to my 4 hour. And basically, this is what I want to be doing. I want to be taking the 717 right there, right, for 730 target one. And then once we go over 732, it's probably going to be going like sideways and choppy. And then once we get 733, that is going to probably trigger like midday. That's when we're going to go to 750. It's going to wait for us to go for lunch, and then it's going to do the big move. But that's what it is. This is the formation that I'm seeing right here. I see it on a 4-minute chart, 4-hour chart. I hope you guys see it. If not, just take this one. When you don't see it that clearly, look at this. You all know how we trade this, right? We go over 716, 717, and that's a trade we want to take. So that's a scalp that I'm looking to make in Tesla. 717, 730 over 730. That's a real trade. Okay. Tesla, and then we have the NEO, but I haven't checked NEO. Yeah, NEO was a reversal. I think that's what we were trying to do on NEO. So okay, look the difference. That's why I use my tools. If you look at this chart, yeah, probably right here. When you come at this chart, volume profile, look where we have the massive volume, basically, massive volume. So we know 37 could be a good line for support, and that's where I have my yellow line right there, which is 38.30. I wasn't looking at this trade, but it's not crazy to think on a scale between 40 and 42.50, right? For just a momentum trade, 40 and 42.50. Let me double check. What are we doing? So yeah, it could be 40, 42.50. Absolutely. So NEO 40 to 42.50. NEO 40 to 42.50. Okay. I don't want to go too much into the other ones because I check. I think if this is going to move, probably NEO is going to give us a move, or Tesla is going to give us a move, or Lee is going to give us a move. We talk about AMC, and this is one, of course, the meme stocks are like, as far as today, what is concerned, they pop in all my scans. and something happened. I think it was in the afternoon. So we got to check if it's a Wall Street boys back into it. So this one, you guys know what to do with this one. So I want to bring it to your attention. That's what I have an entry on a 50. So I want to double check. It blew through all of my alerts. We have did we call it last time? Do we have it as
I don't think so.
we didn't talk about it, right? Because I have so many alerts that I thought we discussed it anyway. So anyways, okay, let's do AMC. So what do we have for the AMC? So we have that's daily. Let me double check the weekly. So this was a weekly chart. I'm surprised that we didn't have it. Yeah, because this is what we do, right? This is what we do. So we come from here, basically, we go here, and we have a 61% retracement, more or less, because I took it from here. If I do it the other way around, I'm pretty sure it's going to be on point. Let me just double check that one. Let me just take that one pretty fast, and the move started from there, and that's where we go, like 61. So we just have the basic move. So what I'm looking here is basically momentum, right? Now it's all momentum trade for me. If you guys like to trade it, you heard my commentary, regarding my my family members asking me about that. I don't usually go unless I do have an entry like today, right? So if tomorrow this one goes and give us an entry as a second day play, AMC is a second day play, right? I'm going to leave it as second because I don't know if it's going to be versus BWAP or over the high, but over 50, we can see 60. That's what I see. Right here's the volume, guys. That's the volume that we need to take care of, the 57. So I think if you want to take a 52, take partials of 52, 53, that's fine. But I think we hit 57. So second day play for target 153, target 257. So that's AMC. The other one that was also in play was triple BY. Not as much as AMC and GME that have the massive. Hold on a second, let me double check. Look at the volume today, right? 200, that's the biggest in a month. So triple BY, I don't know why it's popping into my scans, but we have a little bit of a volume, not really. What I like about this one is if they're gonna start running these things again, we need it for that trade between 30 and 33, 34. So that's another 10%. So I wanna make sure multiple alerts because we know how these ones go. Once they start going, it just go crazy and crazy and crazy. So make sure we have an alert on this.
It may have been Best Buy in your scans, double BY.
Yeah, Best Buy because it reported earnings today, but this one too. Right. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, this one too. Yeah, because my scan also searches for increased volume near the point of control. So if you see here, we have 181%. I know it doesn't look like much because of this. This is the problem. Look at the volume, 181%. So we did have good volume and we are right at the point of control. So 29, 30 for 33, okay? 10%, and remember, these guys can pay, right? Biggest, we're mentioning now, GMC, AME, BB. Yep, I'm gonna be talking about right now about BB. For BB, which also happens to have volume, look at the volume, 310. The problem with these meme stocks is like, look at this, we were doing crazy volume. That was like, this was the meme thing, right? So let's see if they can break it. So for this one is, again, what I have in my notes is 1140 for 13 and 14 and $16. So 1140 for 14, 15 and $16, right? So this one's hot. Double B is really good. I like this one probably better, and this is likely going to go tomorrow. So that's what we're taking the time now to give you guys some memes. So we got the triple BY, the AMC, the double B, that's the BlackBerry, and the GME also, of course. This one's more expensive, a little harder to trade, but we have 600% volume. I don't know. I'm not sure if you guys saw the move today, but this is what they did today while we were sleeping. Okay. So that's what I like to call a perfect 15-minute chart, right? And we know that if we were here, we would have been killing this one because the increasing volume is so like so clear that all you need to do is just make sure you don't buy it right here, that you get it like probably at the beginning of the move, right?
They put a unusual sweep in right there at 177 that hit our feed, which is, yeah, basically right 177.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
177.
like,
Yeah, the break.
yeah.
Yeah, the break. Yeah, that guy, imagine 50 points. Amazing, crazy. So keep in mind that what maybe you guys know that's not my bread and butter, but if we happen to be sitting like today and then did you start going, then we can just, you know, take some fun with it. So let's keep an eye on that one. This one's a second day play. So we have plenty of second day plays. It's going to be crazy tomorrow. Now I want to do a little bit of into the travel related things, the CCL, just based on the pattern. So we have the fall, we have the accumulation right here. We try to break and we couldn't break the 31. So now what we have a pullback, and this is what I'm seeing, right? I'm seeing finally lower high and lower high. So that's two lower highs and we're coming into the 50 MA. I also like the fact that we have the volume right here, right? So once we start seeing my green line, you know, my green line is like my go-to line, my go line. Once we start going over, if you want to be very precise, it's going to be like over 24, 40. So CCL over 24, over 24.40, for 26 and 27, right? So it doesn't look like much, but that's 10% move. That's a 10% move. Then I go to RCL. If you go to the weekly, you're going to see what's going on, right? I'm doing this. I'm assuming this is a higher low. And we try to take it for a pullback into the main zone, which is 27. Then we go to RCL, and the RCL, it's a little clear, but I think it's going to be more momentum than the CCL. So 83 for 86, if you want to make a quick scalp tomorrow, I'm just going to call it 83 for 86, because sometimes we just don't know what's going to happen, right? Probably. And also travel related, Airbnb. I'm pretty sure you guys saw the move today, too. Crazy move right at the open. And if we didn't catch it, then I totally forgot about it. But here's the beauty of that one, right? For Airbnb, I'm looking for momentum to take that 170 and 180. So that's pretty simple, right? That's all I'm going to do is like watch it tomorrow. If we have the momentum, I'll take it. Reason being, I like the monthly. I like the monthly chart. So when we come right here, the weekly already triggered. So that was a trade today, 157.31. If you can see where we trigger, the 157 is right here. That's where we stop, right? So that's what I tell you guys, multiple time frame analysis has to be part of the game, right? You see it right here. This little thing right here, that's 157.31. And then people wonder why this thing stopped right at 157.31. And that's the reason why, right? I wasn't trading, so guess what? Another one. So every single day, that's why we do this. So we have a lot of ideas that eventually can trigger. Yeah, I missed the first move from 146 to 177, 157. That's 10 points. But then you can do a decent trade, like a launch trade from 157 to 161 and be set for tomorrow. So where are we for tomorrow? Like what I told you, 162, we can see 170, 180, and this is one of my top watches too. Okay. Then we have the DraftKings, unrelated. This is a gambling thing. What we were looking for in DraftKings was the breakout play on a daily chart, right? Since we're here, we see the base over 55. That was the entry. You could have taken the 200 MA, which is a really important level. So we know 53.71 was the 200 MA. So anything over 54, you can anticipate with a stop under the 200 MA. And if it's going to go, just going to go. If it's not, you take a very small stop, right? This is what we're looking here. My monthly buy, right? Over 56.25 triggered today. So that's why this one stays on the watch, right? Target one, as far as the monthly, we should see it at 58, and then we take it all the way for 62. So DraftKings daily breakout play 62, and Did I say 58? Yes, I did say 58. 58, 62, and 65. 58, 62, and 65. Let's find an entry on that one. That was a hard one to trade. So make sure you know exactly what levels, and especially when we are at clear levels, right? We have the volume today, confirming the move, 146%. So that's a DraftKings. And I'm gonna do you guys, yeah, let me double check now that we're into the open economy, closed economy sort of things. Oh, there's one that I want to bring to your attention. That's the UPST, which is alternative financing. So this was a recent IPO. Did the monthly setup right here at the 123. That was great. 140. You know, gave some pretty good days. So here's where we are, guys. 220. So I'm pretty sure that you know exactly what to do tomorrow. So this one's a momentum watch. And the target, I mean, we're not even extended. So you can hit, like, based on Bollinger, you can hit like $260, $270. So we have like $50 target on that one. So UPST, from my experience, what I know, a couple of days that I traded, is that the options can get really spready. So make sure that you know exactly when you're buying. Like if you're buying at the open, make sure that you do have a trigger. Don't try to anticipate. Like sometimes it's just better to wait for the mid-morning and get a nice base where you can buy your options and you're not chasing your options, and then you take the second move of the day, and that should be enough to make, you know, whatever goal is that you have. But UPST over 221, let's call it 221, 220.70, you guys can see it, but I'm gonna say 221 for 260. That's the area, right? The momentum play will be different. You gotta throw your numbers, and probably it's gonna be like around, what's the ATR for this one? $14. So if you add 220 plus $14, that's gonna put you like at 234. So target one should be like 235 in case you're scalping. 235 and then 260 for the second target, right? So we got the UPST. They weren't talking about those Wall Street long, right? Wall Street, JD, BB, AMC, GME, BABA, NVIDIA, Pfizer, AMD. Okay, good. So now that I see Pfizer, I want to do the Moderna. Moderna has a nice pattern too. This is what I'm saying. This is crazy. So we're waiting to see how that one's absorbed. What I like about Moderna is look at the volume right here, right? So I'm thinking if we can clear 416, 415, 413, 413, 416, and I'm not trying to drive you crazy, guys. It's just like $400. I'm not gonna fight over a point or two, right? Once we start going over 413.15, that's when we may start seeing some momentum picking up. For sure, 414, 415, 416, and we take it for 450, okay? So over 413, 450 on Moderna, right? We also have the Pfizer that was had, you know, with the approval and everything. So of course, sell the news. So yeah, absolutely sell the news, right? That's why I wonder if anybody knew that they were going to get the approval, right? They'd run it like for a month from $40 to 51. That's a good 25%. So why do I want to do with Pfizer? Pretty much nothing, guys. I don't like trading it. I think it's boring. And if I want to trade a pharma, I'll probably do Moderna, right? So let's go with coin. Let's do a quick pass through coin. I don't know, guys, if you're trading coin these days, but it could be a trade, just a Momo trade right here. 268 for 280 and 290. So coin over 268 for 280 and 90. Not sure if this one's still running with Bitcoin, because I haven't seen Bitcoin in a while. Let me see. It's right there. So I think it's like a 50, 48, 50. So doesn't look like that because we just make a high right here. So coin didn't. but I think this one is based on the monthly. Like probably this could be safe to say that we found a bottom, at least a short-term bottom. So we have the point of control at 257. We're right there. So if we start seeing some momentum, we can probably take it, right? So coin is a watch, 268. That's what I say. And Riot, which is this one is like more related to Bitcoin. I think I have a call for 40 to 50. That remains a call. Over 40 to 50. Not sure if I called it before, but I know we've been checking this one. Same for Mara. I think it's 40 to 50 for Mara. For this one, I think I disclosed it to you guys too, that I do this most of the times. I do it as a string. And a lot of the times, especially since volatility tends to be higher, or when I see it, sometimes I'm late, I put a spread too based on volatility, whatever works better. Because I don't need to hit it too big on that one. I just want to have part of whatever is the move, if the move comes. We do Moderna, Upsti, ABNB, Riot, Pfizer, AMC, BB, Mara, Coin, GE stays right there. I know the reverse split, and I thought it's gonna bring it back to a tradable stock. It's been in a squeeze for 18 days. Nothing new in there. Over 106, I think it is where we want to start probably getting involved with this one. 107. So the call is the same that we have for GE. Just checking on that one. The Piton, which I totally hate this stock. So hard to trade. But I'm gonna be watching that 119, 120, just in case once we start getting over the 120. So I'm gonna call it 120. Watch the 200 MA, and if we can get 120 to 128 in one of those rare days when it just decides to move, like today, or like this day right here, or this day right here, or this day right here, I'll probably take it. So just make sure we have the alerts.
Looks like earnings this week.
Oh, yeah. Well, how did I miss that one? Yep. 8/26. That's tomorrow? No, that's 2 days from now. Nah. Yeah. Oh, my God. Who wants to bet with me? 140 probably. I don't know. Nah, I'm just kidding. I have no idea what's that gonna be. So yeah, earnings. So off the list. Off the list. Thank you for catching that. And then we have the Doku, which I like what it's doing. Sideways pattern, tradable range, 281 to 314. Now 314, that's what we have the trade. 225 is too far, which is here. So I'm trying to see if we get a trade. I'm not really that fond of trading Doku either. I've traded a couple times, and not an easy one, but keep an Alero 315. I don't know if may go that day and probably give us a one day trade. I have GPS, which is the gap. I'm just checking these names because I know M is just blasting off. I mean, like this one, I'm not sure we have it, but we should have, because the entry was 20. I think we did call M couple meetups ago. I'm not sure if it was the last hangout, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, every now and then I'll take a look at M. So what for now is like, honestly, I want to see a pullback to 22, and otherwise it's just Momo. Look at the monthly chart. So this is what we're doing, right? This is we're about to clear the biggest volume in here, 25, and it can give us 30. So I won't be surprised if Macy's become like a Momo trade, right? And the levels are, as we see right there, over high of the day. And I can see it at 25 and at 30, okay? 25 and 30 as targets. So if we see it moving, let's try and catch it. My God, what a miss, man. 20 to 23. Okay, that's Macy's. Just want to make sure
we had that, Mario.
Yeah, we did, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the Macy's. Another one, Under Armour. This is different. what I like about this one, look at all the level right here, right? So I don't know if this one almost went bankrupt and now it bounced like 300%, but this is where the volume is, right? So I wonder what's going to happen if we start breaking 26. Can we go 30? Wow, that's what it is. But this looks like something. Of course, I wish I've seen it like 3 or 4 days ago, right in here. That would have been like better entry, 23 for 26. Now, just keep an eye on that one in case we catch momentum. So we play it as a momentum. It's inside a range. So we have a UAA range between 23 that everybody can see, I hope, and 26, right? 23 and 26. Now, if we break 26.50, we'll probably hit 30. And that's the one that I want too. So 26.50 for 30. Let's see what how the summer is going to end. So we got UAA, we got Boeing. They have some news. They always come with news, and they don't do nothing. This is just sideways, guys. Let me rephrase that. This is a range, right? This is pretty much a range. The last move was a little deep on the pullback on the market, so that was a good shortable tradable range. So I think we have that tradable range between 210 and 240. Question is, would I be willing to go long that one at 220, trying to get it to 229? I'm pretty sure there's going to be better opportunities to take a long trade instead of a reversal or whatever. So this one for me now, no call. Just keep an eye on the range, 210, 240. If we hit 210, let us know. If we hit 240, I want to be in that one. So 210, 240, just for alerts, no call in Boeing. The one that I want to check is Beyond. Beyond is at the bottom of the range, like 120, right? That's where we went. That's what we tested. I think we got up a little bit. This reversal I could probably do. Let me double check the weekly. Let me see if I have something. Yeah, this is a little better because this could be a higher low right there, right? And this is where the last move started, like the big move started. So this is a higher low. We just pretty much stop everybody out that was shorting right here. So this could be also trappy in here, right? We hold right to the penny. No, not right to the penny. That's a 113. Pretty much. So 113, I think that could be it, right? So let's assume that this is a pivot. So we're forming a pivot right here. We can wait till we get to 133, and then we know that it's going to probably go 145. What I'm thinking is that this could probably be a good reversal watch, right? So with some momentum tomorrow, 124, 129, 134. Okay, so Beyond, make sure you put those 3 words after Beyond, REV, that means reversal, right? So I don't play reversals when the market is down unless I have catalysts on the stock. I want to play reversals on the day that they have volume. And I'm quick on taking profits on reversals, right? It's not like I can go to 124 and then at 127, I'm going to be like, oh, probably today is the day that it's going to hit 135. Maybe, but it's likely that there's going to be a lot of selling at 127. So if we play like step by step, 124, 127, 135. Okay. Just a side note, that's the Beyond. And Zoom, which I don't know, I don't even know why I watch it, but every now and then gives us this is interesting actually, just because it's near the point of control, right? So we got a level right here, which is 333. I don't think it's going to break it, but if we start going over under, I'm sorry, 331. Wow, the last time we discussed like a lot of shorts. And now I'm not finding them. So if you see, I have a level right here, 349. So what I'm going to call is I'm going to call 330 by 350 in Zoom. Okay. What I want to do is I want to trade the break of the range, meaning I'm willing to take a short under 330 with momentum, and I'm willing to take a long over 350 with momentum. That's I'm not trading the range. I'm trading outside of the range. Okay. JWN, I think they reported earnings, if I'm not mistaken, or they're reporting this week or something like that. Yeah, that's earnings, man. That's earnings. That's what they look at. So, yep, JW Nordstrom is earnings play. What am I missing, Kyle? Oh, the security, CrowdStrike.
Yeah, be good.
Yep. I thought that honestly, I thought it was a gap on earnings, and I just realized it was not earnings, something else. So what we have, this is a range, and they gap it up pretty much to resistance. So this is a good watch, as long as we start to continue higher, right? So over 272.63, CRWD, that's a play. Over 272.63, and that's where I have my green line. Now, can you play it as a second day play over 270? Yes, but yeah, absolutely. If tomorrow we see it over 270, we can take it 270 over 272. Once you go over 272, we go to the next target, right? So Momo for 270 over 272.63, that's the daily chart. From my experience today, I got it around here, and I sold it like around here before I decided to quit for the day. I think it was right here. So this was hard, really hard to trade. So that's the CrowdStrike. I didn't make that much money. I don't even want to put it on my green column. Then we have the Palo Alto Networks, which is clearly gap to all-time highs with higher volume than ever. So this one stays. We need to watch this for either a drift that hold the gap or a momentum play. Okay, so this is probably a 1, 2, 3 that is going to do. If it goes tomorrow, I'll watch it, but I'd rather have it like on a sort of taking some, even pulling back, to be honest. If I can see it at 430, I like it even more than if I see it tomorrow at 447. So this one's a watch. Okay, complicated, new all-time highs, big volume, continuation pattern. Watch for continuation pattern. Review your playbooks, guys, and you should have like 2 or 3 trades that you can do for continuation. One of them is a 1 to 3, which is the simple. The other one is a momentum over the high, which is another simple. The other one could be a pullback, and then you refer to your indicators, probably a point of control, probably a BWAP, probably, I don't know, something like that, right? So that's Palo Alto Networks. Let me double check on FireEye just in case. So FireEye is interesting. It's interesting.
Yep, Phil.
Right. Gap down, reversed the following day, retested pretty much the lows, and now we're retesting the high. So we can see the range right there, 1850. So if we break 1852, 1855, we go 1930. So FireEye could be one. And those should be easier, at least on the wallet. 1855 for 1903, 1930, sorry. 1930 target 1, 1960 target 2, and $20, right? I have a thing right here, 22 for 25. That's a monthly. So apparently at some point in time, we were waiting for something to happen right here. Wow, look at that. So 22 for 25. Still, we're working with this, right? We're still in this. So yep, 22 to 25, but that, unless we get some catalyst, I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. These days with the Wall Street gang, anything can happen. So keep an eye on this one, 1830, 1930, 20. Once we go over 20, start yelling for everybody to keep an eye on this one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on our carry list or whatever, because I want to put alerts. This is what I did in AMC, and that's what I hit, like all of them, but they just one day hit all of my alerts, and I hate it because no trade. Okay, I think we cover most of what I wanted to cover, which is security. We did the meme stocks, we did the FANGs, we did some Bitcoins, we did retail. Anything else, guys? Facebook, we did. Snap, I think Snap is worth giving it a couple seconds right here. Snap, that's the pattern I'm looking after the big gap up, and it's just going sideways. This is probably what I'm expecting to see in when I say you see PanW, Palo Alto Networks, 1000% all-time highs, whatever. Look what Snap did, right? Like 1000% that day, you know, all-time highs, whatever. So now it has to correct through price. And there's going to be a lot of fake outs on every, through time. Yes, thank you. So it's going to be a lot of fake outs, and it's going to take like 2 months, but then we forget. And the moment we forget, that thing's going to go 81, and then it's going to explode, right? So that's why when I saw it today, I was like, okay, let me just make sure that I have my alerts for Snap, right? So alerts should be like once we start hitting into the top of the range, right? We totally didn't. I mean, I wasn't even aware, and I don't like trading Snap, so there's no way I'm gonna be buying this. I'll be lying to you. That's like hindsight. But if we start seeing 80, I'll probably take it that day. 80 to 85 to 90. I'll love that one. So that's the Snap, Twitter. Nothing until we get to 70, to be honest. I don't want to waste my time for that one. And I think pins, we call it as a short, and that was a decent short too. Hit target almost, I think it was 55 to 50, like 10%. So we only did like 9%. Still in the jail, I'd say. No jail card has for this one. This is still a short watch till we get to 60. Once we get to 60, we probably trade it 60 to 70. Yes, net is thing with this is I'm not sure how's the volume and has the options, but yes, net is over 127.80. That's a daily breakout play on net. Thank you, sir. Over 180 for net. Also, now that you put that one, I think I saw ANET, Arista Network. And again, same thing, make sure you know the options. Let's double check on the options, but this one 384, we see right there the sideways move that we've been doing. So 363 by 384, I want to take the 384 because I'm already late for that one. So ANET over 384. And I just put these ones because like I said, sometimes out of the blue they just start running, and at least we know that we have the alert, and we know exactly, we can refer to our notes and say, oh, this was a breakout play that can run into, this is all-time highs. So 384 can take us 394, which is right here, 3 standard deviations, but most likely it's going to go. So that's 384, 394, 400 easily. Okay. Don't buy before, because I don't know if it's going to start going down, but this one looks good. I like it. Look at the volume going up. Look at the formation right at the point of control. A little late, I saw it. So that's the ANET. And Hassan wants to know about Chewy too. Chewy, it's Chewy. I did the trade. I think Kyle get us into this with a great entry.
The swing.
Yeah, the swing was a great entry. And you guys are out, right?
Yeah. This one's done.
Yeah, this one's done. Like you got like 85, 90 to 95, and that was it. So can he go again? Absolutely. Let me try and find like a pattern, but it wasn't fun, to be honest, guys. Even though we make money, I was expecting to be able to trade it intraday too, but really it was like one day and then 4 days high, and then it's just one day and gap up, and that was it. So I'm not sure how it trades intraday. 90. Once we go over 98, the thing is that the monthly chart is already triggered, Hassan. So technically you should be long from 80. I mean, you should still be long from 85, which is the same. I think that was close to the same entry that we got, 85, 87, 90, around that area. But yeah, you can take it for 10%. Absolutely. So guys, I think this is it for today.
Yes,
We got
sir.
some good stuff for tomorrow. A lot of 1, 2, 3s. Don't go crazy with the memes. I know they're gonna be all over the place tomorrow, but don't go crazy with the memes. Don't forget about Airbnb and you know, the easier ones like a Microsoft if the market goes. And this is the biggest thing, right? The market, guys. Remember, before you do anything, just make sure you know where the market is. Count the days that you're up. Make sure you're not extended by whatever means you decide that it is extended. I don't think we are. I'm expecting a couple days and then we run. So thank you for your time. And
Thank you.
and let's close the summer strong. Okay, guys. See you guys tomorrow.
All right. We'll see you in
Thank
the
you.
morning. Thank you.
Okay.